Hi, I'm Stuart Taylor. I make videos about project management. If that's your thing, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Today I'm asking Kirsty Cook, a PMO expert, on what her priorities are when setting up a program PMO. Let's go and see what she says. What are the first priorities when setting up a program PMO?
Well, the first thing that you need to get in place is your governance. So what are your meetings? What are being discussed at meetings? Who is attending meetings? What is the decision-making remit of those meetings? And what you'll find in a program is that you'll very often have a project working group, and that will be very tactical and talking about the nuts and bolts of progress and project and things that are going wrong. But when there is an issue that project can't resolve itself, it needs to escalate, and it needs to escalate upwards. And then you will very often put in place a program working group, delivery group. There's 100 different names you could call them, but a working operational meeting that will look across all of the projects in the program and work through issues that the projects are raising, or potentially understand any conflicts or dependencies amongst those projects. And as much as possible, the program team, the program manager, should be looking to resolve as much as they can in that forum. There will be some significant decisions or issues or conflict that can't be resolved by the program team and the program manager. And you will then need a more senior group of stakeholders. This will very often involve your sponsor, your senior sponsor, that's whether that's an exec or a C-suite member from the organisation. You may have other attendees such as finance, risk, and perhaps key stakeholder groups. And the escalation route up should be to a point where issues can be resolved and decisions can be made as final. So you'll have automatically 3 layers of governance there. And one thing I will do as soon as I start a program PMO is document who attends which, what the authority limits of each are, what the inputs and outputs, and what are the conversation terms of reference for each of those forums. So that's my number 1 priority as far as governance within a program PMO. The next thing, which is linked to that, is you need to have input to that. So what are the inputs? And it starts very much as being a plan. So you need your plan. What are your actions and project deliverables that need to be shown to be measured and progress against? So plan and reporting are sort of interlinked. Those are your inputs to those governance forums. So very quickly, within the first sort of 4 to 6 weeks of landing in a program, set up the governance and then make sure you've got a plan that you're measuring against. And if it's a long-term program, you might not have your plan till the end of time, but what is your plan for the next 6 weeks? What is your plan for the next 3 months? And then let's start measuring against that plan, and therefore surface where there are things that are going awry and need to be either resolved or escalated through that governance route. You can then go on further beyond that and start to get smart around standardizing how you do your risks and issues measurement. That clearly will be a feed into those governance forums further down the line. You know, that will be my number 2 priority, but the number 1 priority is very much the reporting against the plan that you have in place in front of you. First off, you can then build on your dependency management. You can build on standardizing your RAG reporting, your milestone reporting. Obviously, there's a financial consideration and there's a customer stakeholder consideration. All those are secondary to what are we doing in the first 4 to 6 weeks, and how do we measure, and how do we make sure we've got the right escalation path to get problems resolved.
How would you know if you've been successful, or what would be a warning sign that maybe something could be enhanced?
So I think it's going to boil down to, are issues being surfaced in a timely manner, and are they being resolved in a timely manner? And yes, there's very much this is what I do in the first 4 to 6 weeks of starting on a program. It's not that then is fit for purpose for the entire length of a potentially 2-3 year program. Sure. Yes, it might need refining. But you know, the basics are get your decision making, get your forums and where things are surfaced and issues can be discussed and decisions made accordingly. get those in place first off, and then the inputs to those meetings.
Thank you, Kirsty. Kirsty's LinkedIn details are in the description of this video in case you want to reach out and connect with her directly. As someone who works in a PMO, I can assure you there is no such thing as a regular day. Every day is different. But that didn't stop me from trying to capture a day in the life of a PMO. And here's the video link to that. Give it a click, I'm sure you'll enjoy it.